Hey everyone, welcome to Turkish series stars. All the details are in our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share the video before we dive in. Thank you for being here. The celebrity buzzmill is shaking again, and this time the tremor hits right at the heart of a once celebrated love story, Cemre Arda and Gökberk Yildirim. She's been dazzling with her recent roles and that unflappable poise on red carpets. He's been earning praise for sharp performances and a disciplined, low-key presence. Yet what's echoing backstage isn't a new project announcement or an award rumor, it's a whisper that grew teeth overnight. The spark? A claim attributed to Cemre's mother, shared in a private circle and replayed 1,000 times in gossip corners. My daughter still loves Gökberk very much. One sentence, barely more than a breath, and suddenly the past walks right back into the room. According to those who insist they were there, the line slipped out during a casual chat, the kind you think fades into the wallpaper. But it did the opposite, it spread like perfume on a hot day, impossible to contain, clinging to every conversation about the former couple. No official confirmation, no press release, no microphone. Just that phrase, recycled, reframed, and reinterpreted as a confession. And with it, a story many thought was tucked away found itself reopened, page by page, memory by memory. There was a time when the names Cemre Arda and Gökberk Yildirim were spoken in a single breath. Their on-screen glow fed an off-screen legend, and fans loved watching them move in rhythm, quiet glances, careful smiles, the aura of something true. Then came the rumors, the tune we all know too well, distance, timing, silence. Neither of them wanted to narrate their private script to the world, and people read meaning into every pause. That habit of staying quiet, elegant for some, frustrating for others, became a shield. Now, with a mother's words floating above the headlines, the quiet is being tested again. Is this an unfinished chapter? The gossip press can't stop asking. To some, a mother's hope is simple and human. She remembers her daughter's happiest days and speaks from the heart, no agenda, no strategy. To others, it's a signal, intentional or not, sent out into an audience ready to dissect it. The very idea of the family factor has stalked every discussion since, reshaping commentary, stirring opinion pieces, and reigniting the debate over whether the story between Cemre and Gökberk ever really ended. Those close to Cemre say she values boundaries in a world that eats them for breakfast. She doesn't like her feelings turned into headlines, they say, and she'd rather carry her heart quietly. That stance might be why, as of now, neither Cemre nor Gökberk has chosen to address the claim. Their social feeds remain curated and calm, work, friends, quiet moments, but nothing that even brushes this rumor. The result? A high-gloss silence. In this business, silence isn't emptiness, it's language. It can mean caution, protection, or a deliberate refusal to be baited into a narrative they don't control. Online, the conversation swings like a pendulum. Some call it romantic, proof that love has a long memory. Others push back, saying it's reckless to interpret a woman's life through a sentence that might have been plucked out of context. There's concern, too, that the relentless fascination with their private story overshadows what brought them here, their work, their craft, their steady progress. A chorus of voices keeps repeating the line that matters most: let them be, let them choose, let them breathe. Of course, uncertainty is oxygen for rumor. No one can say how much truth these words carry. But in this world, quiet can echo louder than a shout. The absence of denial, the refusal to confirm, it all feeds speculation while managing to keep the core of their lives intact. And so the narrative hangs in the balance, heavy with what-ifs and maybes, as if the past and present are sitting down at the same table, waiting to see who speaks first. In recent interviews, Cemre's graceful restraint has been parsed with forensic attention. She's said little, but the phrases she does allow, "everything in my life is going as it should," now glow with new meaning for those determined to find it. Some argue it's a veil thrown over lingering feelings. Others insist it's the posture of a woman anchored in her work, building a path that can't be reduced to a headline. Meanwhile, from Gökberk, the same curated calm. Posts highlighting sets, scripts, early morning call times, and a life constructed with discipline. The private stays private. The quiet, once again, becomes part of the theater. And yet, both of their names refuse to leave the spotlight. They once looked like a perfect equation, talent plus timing plus that unteachable chemistry. People adored them together, they rooted for them from afar, and the hope that once rose with each joint appearance has never quite dimmed. A single phrase from a mother breaks the surface, and suddenly the old belief swims back, maybe this isn't over. Maybe it never was. Naturally, talk turned to what the mother meant, or whether she meant anything at all. Perhaps it was nostalgia speaking. Perhaps it was a private tenderness, shared too openly in a small room that turned out to be bigger than anyone realized. Some commentators defend her outright. It's human to remember the person who made your child smile. Others warn that such words plant seeds, expectations grow, speculation multiplies, and soon a woman's entire emotional life is a public project. If the remark was wishful, it has been treated as evidence. If it was truth, it has been treated as provocation. Either way, it drifts above the couple like a cloud everyone keeps pointing at. Within Cemre's circle, there's restlessness over the exposure. Friends, according to whispers, dislike seeing private memories dragged to center stage. They say she made a conscious decision long ago, what I live is mine. That sentence, repeated by those who claim to know her well, has become a shield and a challenge. A shield against the rush to define her, and a challenge to anyone trying to force her into a confession she never promised to give. It's a choice with a cost, but one she seems willing to pay. And still, there's the magnetism of their story. Back when Cemre and Gökberk were seen side by side, the city leaned in. Their chemistry wasn't just rumor, it was felt. Those old images linger, and some fans won't let them fade. Maybe that's why even now, with no new event linking them, every small detail is treated like a clue. A color worn, a song liked, a schedule changed, everything becomes material for decoding. From a distance, it's a puzzle with no edges. Up close, it's just two people trying to keep their lives steady. Meanwhile, a quieter camp insists the whole saga is being blown out of proportion. They say a mother's soft remark, if it even happened, got captured and blown into headlines that suit the moment. This is how the machine works. A half sentence becomes a full story, complete with arc, conflict, and climax, whether or not the characters play along. But even skeptics admit the rumor achieved something undeniable. It pulled focus back to a pair whose names can still electrify a room. So here we are again, with the same conclusion arriving from all directions: silence. No confirmation, no denial, no explanation that ties everything up. That vacuum promises the rumor won't die anytime soon. Maybe, they say, the door isn't closed. Or maybe the door is closed and locked, but no one wants to accept it. The thing about memories is that they don't follow rules, and people love to imagine love as a story that never really ends. As these whispers gather volume, attention shifts to what Cemre will do next. Where will she appear? What will she say when a microphone, innocently enough, asks about her heart? Sometimes all it takes is a glance. In this realm, a pause can be quoted, a smile can be read as a sign, and a shrug can turn into a headline. The stage is set for misinterpretation, and everyone knows it. The only question is whether either of them will step out of the quiet and reshape the narrative with a single sentence. There's also a lingering curiosity about Gökberk's reaction. He's crafted a public presence built on steadiness, routine, commitment to craft, a life where the work speaks. He posts what he wants, stays still when the noise swells, and lets storms pass overhead. His admirers appreciate that patience. But patience doesn't stop people from wondering. If the line from Cemre's mother was true, what does he feel hearing it? If it wasn't, what does he think of the way it unfolded? The questions land and sit there, unanswered, like letters without a return address. Fans are split between hope and closure. Some want to believe the embers can still glow, that time only refined what was already there. Others urge both of them to keep building forward, separate and strong, with the grace they've shown. What remains undeniable is their success, parallel and constant, sweeping past the rumor with premiere after premiere, performance after performance. It's a reminder that the one thing they can control, the work, keeps moving. And so the city waits, the feeds refresh, and a story that was supposed to be over keeps writing itself without a pen. Maybe a future interview clears the fog. Maybe a single post draws a line under everything. Or maybe, just maybe, this is the equilibrium they've chosen, a private understanding behind public silence, immune to the way the outside world reads the tea leaves. Either way, the attention isn't fading. It lingers in comment sections and backstage talk, in the soft space between curiosity and care. For now, the clearest truth is this: nothing has been said, and everything has been felt. Cemre walks through the noise without breaking stride. Gökberk moves through it like a man who knows storms pass if you don't chase them. The city talks because it loves them, because it misses a pair that once made the air shimmer, because it can't help returning to a story that felt like a promise. Whether that promise still holds is something only they can answer, if they ever decide to answer at all. Until then, people will keep looking for signs. An event they both attend. A line delivered in an interview that feels heavier than it should. A quote that lands like a pebble in still water. One phrase already did more than enough: my daughter still loves Gökberk very much. Was it longing? Was it certainty? Was it an echo of a moment that made a mother smile? No matter which, it traveled far beyond its origin. And once a line like that gets loose, the world races to finish it. Maybe one day they'll release a sentence that settles everything. Maybe they'll say nothing at all, and time will settle it for them. For now, the rumor lives where so many do, in the space between a heartbeat and a headline, in the gentle, dangerous distance between what is known and what is wanted. We'll be watching, as always, ready to listen if and when they speak. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Turkish Series Stars and share the video. See you next time, and until then, keep your eyes open, because in this world, even silence can be the loudest statement.